So your chart of accounts is sort of like your financial GPS for your nonprofit. And if it's messy, you're not just lost. It's sort of like driving around in your car when your gas tank is close to E and you're riding around in circles, and also you got your board in the back saying, are we there yet? My name is Noelle Folden McDowell, and today I am going to help you walk through how to set up your chart of accounts. Either set it up or clean it up nonprofit style. And let's get you back on track. Step one, you're gonna wanna start with your programs. So think of it as like a file cabinet, and each program or each restricted funding project needs to have its own main folder. And it's really important to make sure that you're able to track those things, because when it comes time to forecast or make analysis or even deliver funder reports, it's gonna be pretty hard to pull those things out of the other line items. And so you can just think of it as if you have a sock drawer and you put your socks in the drawer where you put your pots and pans, that is gonna create confusion, and also you're not gonna know where to go when you need to look for things. Step two, you're gonna want to separate your admin from your fundraising and your program costs. So this is not just nice to have, and it doesn't just keep you organized, it's also a compliance thing, right? The IRS is going to wanna know what expenses you spent in admin, what expenses were spent on programs, and what expenses were spent on fundraising. And so there are many, many ways that you can do that. And in another video, we will talk about classes and things like that. But right now, we are focused on the chart of accounts. And so there is a way that you can group your chart of accounts to even just specify program expense line items from fundraising, from admin. Again, you can always just do a straight line and allocate those things across in the classes, but we will get to that in another video. Step three, you're gonna wanna keep it clean. There tends to be a tendency to make like so many line items in your chart of account, because you can get carried away and you may wanna make a line item for ink cartilage, but that is not necessary. And it also just adds and adds, and you'll have pages and pages and pages of financial statements, and nobody wants to have to go through all that. So I say keep it clean as much as you can. So have like your general top line. I would suggest maybe looking at a 990 or looking at an audited financial statement and see what are the major buckets they have, because that will also help you when it comes time for the audit, so that things are clean and categorized in a way that is gonna be transferable. And just having more than, hundreds and hundreds of accounts is just gonna cause more confusion and create a level of messiness. Step four, you're going to wanna use sub-accounts, but use them strategically. As I mentioned, if you have these very, very high level main chart of account expense line items, then you can go ahead and add a sub account depending on the year, depending on the budget, depending on the way things need to be tracked. You may need to do that differently. For instance, if I have a main line item called supplies, if it is really important to the organization to track how much you are spending on ink, or a particular office location, you can then add those sub line items. But again, use them strategically, because you can get carried away, and again, you will have hundreds and hundreds of line items if you don't be careful, and keep that in mind. Step five, you're going to want to make sure that you review your chart of accounts annually. I can't tell you how many times I have stepped into an organization and realized how outdated the chart of accounts were, because depending on the year, you may need to look at things differently, and that is expected. But nobody remembers to go in and archive the accounts that they no longer use or they're no longer relevant, which also leaves room for error for one to be able to choose those accounts mistakenly when they should be just archived or inactivated. If something is outdated, there's a way that you can either merge it or just archive it altogether. It's sort of like how you utilize your closet at home. right? If you have clothes that are outdated from years and years and years ago that maybe don't even fit or just are not in style anymore, you're gonna wanna do that on a routine basis to kind of clear out so that you can be able to really focus on what you need to and get to it accessibly. If this video helped you, remember to subscribe so you don't miss the next video. You can also click the link below to join my community and be in community with other nonprofit leaders. And you can also use the link below to figure out how we can work together. And so I hope this information continues to bring value and help you move forward in your nonprofit and help you increase your mission. See you in the next video.